Do 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 do. Well, blah, 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 blah. Where the hell's the music? That's what I want to know. I don't know what's going on. It's either the output on my iPad or it is something in my mixer. But I don't have my theme music again. But I will fix this. Welcome to Mysterious Forces Live. I feel naked without the intro music. It's killing me. It is Friday, November 30th, the last day of November 2018. And here we're getting ready to slide into December and have all the holiday madness that is attendant with that. We're going to have a good show tonight with Doc Skinner. We're going to do a little bit of a year in review for what happened with 1028 Productions. And we're also going to project into 2019 and talk about what's coming up. Hey, wow. And so I'm glad you're with me. I want to address a couple of things at the top of the show and just let you know where things stand. And first of all, I just want you to know that I went and I did a live paranormal hunt, a ghost hunt of sorts in Wickenburg, Arizona. And I did that at the beginning of the week, and I have fantastic results. I have some photography with some phenomena in it, major phenomena, not just orbs, but other phenomena. I'm not going to get into it right now because we're going to treat this material right and do a little post-production on the video and release this stuff properly. So we're going to have some episodes coming up where I had positive results on Spirit Box. I had photographs. And we have video of an orb moving. So it's fantastic stuff. Look forward to that next month. We're still editing that together. And I want to go ahead and get to Doc Skinner. Doc, welcome to the show.
Hi, Natasha. Thanks for having me on.
It's great. How are things going? You guys got some snow.
Oh, yeah, I've got a little bit of snow, just a little bit, but it started melting around noon. But we're hoping for some more. We need it. So, yeah.
Can you tell folks where you're at, that people that might not know where you are?
We're a little bit higher than Denver in elevation. I think it's 70. I think the highest point is around 9,000 feet. But we have Sunrise Ski Resort up here. It's Pine Top, Arizona, and it's not desert. It's not desert. It's beautiful pine trees, evergreen all year round, seasons. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
And you guys most likely will have a white Christmas, right?
Keeping our fingers crossed. Yeah, last year it wasn't. No, we didn't really have anything last year. It was a dry Christmas, but we hope it makes up this year. It's just with all the crazy weather that's going on. I mean, just the world. She's rolling over and scratching her back right now.
I know. What do you think's going on with that? I know that you and we touched base earlier in the day, and we had decided to talk about the earthquake in Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah.
But I think we're looking at it. You mentioned something. We're kind of looking at the broader picture as well with fires and other climate-related disasters, and maybe not climate-related disasters.
Well, I mean, it's out there. I don't know if it's completely declassified, but I mean, there are public companies with the chemtrail companies. They'll spray what you want if you have the money, and some of it is, I'm sure there is good elements to it, but some things are making people sick. I remember beautiful cloudy days, and now it's just stripes that spread out throughout the day as the day progresses. And then that's what you see is just a misty haze, cloudish, unless you get a nice storm front coming through. So you miss that. I miss that. And then it's rarely ever you're able to see just a nice blue sky.
Right.
You're like, oh, it's their day off.
Do you think there's an active chemtrail program in place? In your opinion?
Yeah, there has been for many, many years. That's publicly known. Rex Bear. I'm sorry.
You can see photographs. You can see. I didn't mean to step on you there, but that's the thing that blows me away is people who try to act like that. The whole the whole chemtrail thing is like a hoax, and there is video of it happening. There are photographs and video of the inside of those airplanes with the tanks in them, with the hoses going out to the nozzles.
Yeah,
With,
with the pilots holding the pipes out of the back of the seat, you know, the C-130s and stuff.
right. I didn't want to step on you. I just wanted to kind of add that detail in that there's video, there's photographs, there's evidence. It's not a hoax. It's not
Well,
supposition.
I just for the record, I'm very, very happy with my life. So if anything happens to me, okay, because I think, I don't know, I might surprise you. And you can actually get this online. It's the College Manual, Department of Chemistry, Chemistry 130 or 31 manual, the fall of 1990. And this was at the U.S. Air Force Academy. You ready for this?
I am.
Chemtrails. Which way am I going? It's like a...
Wow. Yeah, no,
okay.
I see it.
And you can get this on Amazon.
Wow.
So they were training pilots and people in the Air Force Academy to be ready for this, because they were all going to be pilots. So in my, you know, my father, when he was alive, he was a pilot. So I grew up around pilots. I know what a chemtrail is, and I know what a contrail is, which for decades they tried to say, oh, that's just a contrail, that's from the airplane's wingtips. Okay, for those who don't know, a contrail is the metal wings slicing through the air at a very high velocity of speed, and it's cold up there, so it creates friction, then instantaneously moisture at the front, and it comes off like just drips in the line and then crystallizes.
Correct.
And a real contrail, you will see that line behind the plane stay almost the exact same length the whole time, because it's melting. Whereas the chemtrails are crop dusting us. Basically, they spray it and it stays up there. Then late at night, as the temperature cools, it comes down. That's where I was a victim to it in Dallas, where I went out to the yard and it looked like spidery web substance. And I walked through it, but I was deathly ill for 24 hours.
Really?
That happened twice. So that's the second time I was like, I got the connection. The first time I didn't know why I was sick. But then I learned more. And they've told us, oh, we're paranoid. We're tinfoil wearing hat fanatics. And look what we have today. Now they sell manuals on Amazon. You know, you see all the photos inside. There's even a photo, whether or not it's photoshopped or not, it's dang good if it is, of Trump after he was elected, walking through one of these planes, because these are big corporations. They're publicly stock traded. You can check them out for yourself. You can go to their websites and look at how they do it. The stuff that's in this manual is on those websites. So what I have isn't like classified or anything like that, or I don't think Amazon would be selling it. And it's not the actual book. They just give you the copies of everything, and so I put it in a binder. But yeah, I myself am getting really, really tired with, well, it could be this, it could be that. Are we still alone? Enough of that. We know we're not alone. We know that the government does stuff all the time and says it's not real, and then later we find out it is, and then they apologize for it. I guess they think asking for forgiveness is better than permission, because they know some of their stuff is whacked. Now they got some really cool stuff, like the Space Force that just started, or is just getting ready to start, not since 1947.
Right, exactly.
And in my opinion, I feel if those people that were involved in those black projects and doing those things, getting to go to Mars and Neptune, all these places, as they say in the secret space program, then why not everybody else? I mean, it's just, it shows how the Cabal really looks at us as cattle, nothing, and hence the Illuminati, the enlightened ones. So Wow, did I stay on topic or did I go all over the place?
No, that was great. No, we were talking about chemtrails and
Yeah.
no, weather
Well,
manipulation and
yeah, in the weather manipulation with HAARP, you got that going for you. And then they've got certain setups across the planet that can do the same thing on a smaller scale. But
I brought HAARP up in a chat room recently, and I don't know this. I need to research this. Someone said that HAARP had been sold off to a university, and that the program had been shut down. And
well,
that's just something I saw in a chat room, so I don't know what the veracity is on that.
well, originally, I I think it was the university. Ah, crap, I don't remember which year. I think it was originally a university project, and the military kind of stepped in
Hmm.
and took charge. Then they said they've deactivated it, but then people have reported that they've got it running again, especially people in the towns. Jesse Ventura did an episode on that where he went and spoke to some of the people and tried to go up to the gate, and they tried to intimidate him. He says, "When people try to intimidate me, it doesn't scare me; it just pisses me off."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, anyway, yeah, they have all that, and then they have the ability with manipulating stuff from space. If you've seen Geostorm, which is Dean Devlin's most recent movie, um, you're not seeing stuff in these movies just out of pure fantasy.
Right.
It's all part of the slow disclosure, the desensitization of society through entertainment. Um, I have been in the entertainment all my life. I thought I was out, but I got pulled back in, and I'm still here. But I'm grateful for it. But like every business, every organization, every group, there's going to be those bad apples. So whenever I talk about stuff with the entertainment, that is not a blanket statement. There's amazing people in the entertainment industry, good people. It's just it has that open secret, you know.
Yes.
So, but that's not the topic of the night. We can do that another night. So the weather, the one thing that has been reported, um, all I can say is Google this, and then if you find that Snopes or somebody says it's not real and that's what you want to believe, okay, that's cool. But it was reported that planes were flying over those areas that caught fire, either the day of or the day before. Now, those reports said that it was flammable particles, and the way that the fire
Hmm.
started, and then you have people saying it was dews. Now, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm just saying what you can find on the internet, all the talk, the chatter. I'm just kind of like a watchman on the wall. I'm not a news reporter.
Right.
Um, I'm a guy that works with a camera and editing and fell into this.
Hmm.
So about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, there's those aspects, and then there's the earthquake machines, which I'm personally not going to talk too much about. Look it up. You will find it. Just Google it or YouTube. I always go to the University of YouTube. Not that I believe everything, and you shouldn't either. Nobody should. You
Correct.
should at least absorb all of that information, and then be wise enough to surgically pull out the nonsense.
Right.
Um, like for example, your shows UFOs and paranormal.
Hmm.
Let me ask you, does it not just irritate the heck out of you when you see these websites, and I'm not going to name them, I'm sure some people will know, where someone like me knows right away, okay, this is a film student who thought he's going to do a UFO page and he's going to use all of his CGI skills and make these videos and say, this just happened. Okay, look, if you are one of those people, some of you, darn, man, you guys do some amazing work. But keep that out of the real ufology circles. Just leave it out
Right.
of there. Just leave it off YouTube with those titles. Say my film project and title it something. Be proud of it. Don't sit there and try to play the whole mystery thing like the few people that try to do crop circles. Don't be that person, okay? Because it's degrading everything that you're doing, Natasha. What Linda Moulton Howe, Richard Dolan. I'm going over my wish list for my guests on my show. Um, uh, and you'll get a kick out of this. I got Donald Trump up here.
That's nice. Hey,
Someone suggested, actually, a couple people suggested it, and I thought, okay, he is the president. I'm not one to ever, say which side. I
right.
just report stuff. I try not to title. I let the news title do the speaking. But then I thought, well, I mean, if it's through Zoom, Secret Service, come on, I'm sure you can handle that.
Oh yeah.
Um,
No,
so yes,
I
President
had
Trump,
I
I would
recently
like to have you on my show.
yeah, I had a moment of hubris recently, and I don't even think I told the professor this. I contacted Gene Simmons uh,
Hmm,
because he has a book called 27, and it's about all the rock stars and people that died at the
died
age of
at
27.
27.
And I thought, that's a bit of a tie-in with the show.
Yeah.
And he talks a lot about, being charitable towards people less fortunate than him. Sometimes I'm torn on Gene. I like him, and there are things about him I don't disagree with, or that I do disagree with. But I thought, what the hell? Why not? And I thought that it would be an absolute nothing, but they responded. And the guy who
Yeah.
responded is his personal assistant. I've heard him say the guy's name on a video. So I
Mm-hmm.
know that it was legit. It was the dude. And they were like, he's busy announcing his world tour. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'll try back later. Thanks.
And that's what I mean. Nike. I know they've had a lot of flack. I don't really care about all that, but their motto has stood strong with me all my life. Just do it.
Just
If
do it.
Look, I got Donald Trump, the president of the United States, on my wish list to get on here as a guest. Now I don't know if you'd ever have time for little old me, but why not try?
Right not? No, you
You know?
you have every right to ask him.
Yeah, and that's what I try to convey to people is don't fill your life with fear. I did it for so long, and then I learned just don't be afraid, just do it. I mean,
Yeah.
how many people wish that they were doing what we do? It's possible. If you feel deep in your heart that is what you are meant to do, then
Mhm.
do this. It's not easy. There's a lot of crap. I'd rather fly the space shuttle. you know?
Yeah, no, it
I,
looks easy, and there's so many podcasts now, and it's a growing trend, and people
mhm.
think that this looks easy, and it's not. There's a lot more that goes into this, and a lot more money than you might imagine.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah.
speaking of which, kind of shifting gears a little bit, I wanted to do a little bit of a year in review with you and talk about what 1028 Productions, which is your production company, the events that you did this year, and what your interpretation is now that you've got some space between yourself and those events. Did they succeed? And what are your thoughts on DisclosureCon and the Sholo Film Festival? With a couple of months between you and those events.
Letting the dust settle, you might say. It it was a really good success. I was very, very proud of how it turned out. I had my standard set at 10 people showing up. I figured any more than 10 would be a cherry on top. And we had almost 1,000 people come through over the weekend. We were doing 12-hour days, so we had for everybody had time to come through. Amazing vendors. You were there, of course. Great speakers, and everybody was impressed. I was just thinking, okay, little old me whipping this together with 2 or 3 people helping me out, and people talked very highly of it, saying, "Well, I've been to others." I mean, I was thinking this isn't San Diego Comic-Con or anything like that size. It was a small town, but the people of the town really loved it. We got a lot of coverage, a lot of positive coverage, and the casino, I think on the first day said, "We've already penciled you in for next year." So I was like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this again. I guess it's going to be an annual thing. And I knew it would. I had to prove myself to everybody up here. And I think I did. So now they're letting me do the Survival Prepper Expo 2019, which will be May 25th and 6th at the Honda Casino Resort Conference Center, where we had DisclosureCon. It's
Yes.
actually one of the biggest, nicest place we have on the mountain. So I'm really, really grateful to have this relationship with the casino, and letting me do these events. because I want to bring stuff up here year round, not just have this town be a seasonal town, snow and summer.
Right.
So my goal is to bring business up here, bring tourists, bring jobs. So yeah, and this is just a beautiful place. We have a lot of preppers, so I thought, why not a prepper survivalist convention? And
So can we stop there for a second? Because
absolutely, yeah.
I understand the prepper thing. I've seen some of the shows on television just been passing. I don't follow it very closely, but I also do believe myself, and I'm not going to stray into weird political element of what maybe some preppers may be involved with. Like, I don't want to get into that aspect of it, but I do believe that people should be prepared for any kind of crisis, whether it should be a disruption of government services, food supplies, or a natural disaster. I think it's foolish in this day and age to kind of just blindly think everything's going to be okay and the grocery store is going to be open 2 days from now. And I think we have to start thinking about things a little bit differently. So I think there is a grain of legitimacy to that whole thing. Can you explain to us what a preppers convention is like? What's that going to look like, and what will that involve?
Imagine if Bear Grylls and all the sponsors, and all these other, knife companies, solar power, wind, water filtration, storable food, escape and evasion techniques, backpacks, all this stuff. That's what preppers do. Now, here's the thing. You made a statement earlier about, just learning about it. It's upsetting to me that we lost that ability, that skill set, because prepping has been around as long as man has been here. I mean, it was even in the Bible where, was it David told the king, okay, you need to stock up for 7 years because there's going to be this drought, this famine. Okay. They were doing it back then. And of course, you got the Amish and you got the Mormons. They know how to stock up. And some people call that crazy. I'm sorry?
Canning.
Yes, canning, exactly. All the stuff that we knew how to do forever, and then all of a sudden we got the TV and the VCR, and then the internet, and then we had Walmarts and Sam's and all these stores where you just get it, and we become dependent on that. I've got a friend up here. His name is Tony, and he's got a place called Homestead Haven, where you go and he teaches you how to not just live off the land, but homesteading, which is canning food, taking care of your crops, building an earth home out of mud or tires, that kind of thing. And you go, it's a workshop. More and more people are going to this because there's something in their inner being that's telling them all of this isn't going to be reliable anymore. And it's getting back to our roots. I noticed when I went home to a city town that I don't want to diss my town, but it's like there's concrete everywhere.
Right.
If there's any dirt, it's in someone's little front yard,
right,
or in a designated park the size of a swimming pool, and it's all just concrete. I'm up here in the mountains. It's not like that. We got log cabins and stuff. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's connecting with the earth. And I think the towns and the cities, they're not connecting with the earth, or the people, not the towns themselves. But and then you have incidents like all these fires, mysterious fires, that are driving these people, because all that land that burnt in California, they're telling them they can't go back now because of the nuclear research lab area that caught fire. Mm-hmm. So it's contaminated. I was trying to think of the right word. So that's a way of getting them out, and driving them to the city. Because
I think you had seen the episode. I lived in Paradise, California. I had Paradise address.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but no,
I was watching
that whole thing really gets me, that topic. And, and once again, the media is moving forward with other topics, and no one is talking much about the people now who are all displaced. Well over 2,000 people have
it's the opposite. I mean, the stories that they need to spend months on every night on the news, they'll spend a couple days. And then they'll spend 6 months on the OJ trial, 6 months on the Kardashians. It's the biggest psyop on the planet. And the idea is to get us all in the cities so they can control us more. They don't want us living outside of the cities. Have you ever seen the movie A Bug's Life?
Yes.
With the grasshopper Hopper?
Indeed.
And
yes.
he's at the bar, and one of the little grasshoppers were saying, Hopper, screw those guys. And he goes, oh, yeah, right. And he says, he throws a nut at him. He says, this is one of them. He throws a nut at it. He goes, that hurt? He goes, no. And he throws another one. He goes, that hurt? He goes, no. Opens it up. That's what they're afraid of.
Yes.
That's what they're afraid of. That's why they're taking away free speech, and every newscast around the country is scripted, all directly out of the White House. That was set up by the Obama administration to have all the news filtered through the White House, and then they just copy and paste and spammed it to all the stations. And you've seen those videos where everybody's saying the exact same verbiage, exactly, even some with the same inflections, and it's scary. It's 1984. So
I was a reporter for a short while. I want to interject this, and I can attest to that. I can tell you firsthand. I was a newspaper reporter. I had my own byline, and we had a deal with the Associated Press, and they had a satellite link up with the Associated Press and their stories. And the editor would assign a story to me, and they would have me download the story from the AP, not in all instances, but in some instances with certain stories.
They want you to.
And then they would have me do something that they called localize the story. And that was do a minimal amount of research and maybe get a quote or two from a couple of local people on the topic. And then because of the licensing agreement with the AP, we were allowed to use the content of their stories as our own. So then we would integrate our localized quote unquote reporting with this larger story that was fed to us, integrate that our reporting into that story. And then it would look like this big comprehensive story with this kind of local wraparound, but it was fed to us. And I have nothing to be ashamed of. Like, I didn't report on anything using that technique that changed anything. It wasn't national politics or anything like that. It was local, and it was reportage of local or, national stories on a local level in a small town newspaper. But still, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
And that's how those decisions get made. Those stories get fed out. Reuters, the AP, Yeah.
All the way down to the silly little puppy dog, story. They'll say, okay, we're talking about the same thing too much. Throw in that puppy story and have everybody do that one just one time today, or an Easter bunny story. So yeah, you have to think. We had Brooks Agnew was on my show 1028 Live yesterday.
I saw that.
And he was talking about how it used to be, I think he said around 60 or 70 different media companies, and now there's 6. So it's the pyramid. I'm not throwing up signs, folks. Okay, so don't go in the chat room and say, "Oh my God, he's Illuminati." Ooh, okay. No, I'm not. I'm not Jay-Z. So
yeah,
and the list goes on and on. That's a whole nother show we could talk about. Hip hop and music industry. I love music. I love movies. I love making movies and TV shows and videos. But there's a side that's finally coming to light that, there's more than one type of open secret in not just that industry, but all industries. It's just the entertainment industry is one that people look up to the most. People look up to that more than they will scientists or educators, or because it's the glitz, it's the glam, it's the illusion.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I like to think when I do my projects, I'm like Oz, because I'm making magic out of nothing. Usually I just out of my head, because that's what it is. But when I saw it, anyway. So
keep going. I didn't want to step on what you were saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, keep going. You were talking about the media, the stories being fed, that it's homogenized. and
Yes. Yeah.
that the media ignores stories that they should be paying attention to, which is going to be now a crisis of homelessness for thousands of people from
Well,
California.
you to think about something, because I don't know if you saw the news report. It was on Phoenix News 2, maybe 3 months ago. Arizona did a huge, massive drill, and it was for the purpose of 400,000 to 500,000 Californians having to flee in this direction. And that was a few months ago. Why did they do that?
Right. Well, yeah.
And why would they buy all of this equipment? I mean, yes, it's prepping,
yes,
but they're going to use it. So,
no, they will.
And that's the other thing with prepping. Why I'm putting on this expo is because we'll have a gentleman, I don't want to say his name yet, Off Grid Magazine. Look, if you don't know much about it, like you said, you're not really in this realm. Don't be one of those people that gets caught off guard because you didn't see the red flags or the signs coming up. Just be prepared, okay? People make fun of people that prepare. They call them paranoid or conspiracy theorists or whatever. Look, we've been doing it for thousands of years. Our law enforcement, our EMTs, firefighters, our military personnel, government officials, FBI, CIA, all of them, they carry what's called a BOB, a bug out bag, in their vehicle. It has a gas mask. It has first aid kit. So do not let anybody tell you that. And anybody out there that feels that, think about, if you were a Boy Scout, what was the number one thing in Boy Scouts was be prepared.
Correct.
So any guy out there knows that was in Boy Scouts, even Cub Scouts, Little Wolves or whatever the one below that.
Cub Scouts, yes.
Yeah, I think even the Girl Scouts and the Brownies, I think they even teach that. It's a skill set. And in the past 20, 30 years, something happened. And I believe it's cable TV and the VCR, latchkey kids, which I was the first generation of latchkey kids. VCR came out when I was that age, the Atari, all that.
Yeah.
We were raised by Skinamax and HBO and MTV. Our parents both were out having to work because they were told they had to do that if they wanted to live that lifestyle or be able to pay the rent. And I'm not one to say women should all be in the home. No. That's not me. I think it's cool that women take charge sometimes, or whenever they can. But, those responsibilities should be split, and having both parents constantly gone, I feel that they should reflect on it and go, do we really need this Cadillac Escalade? Do we really need this membership at the golf club? I mean, do we need these extra things, these clothes that the kids, are we spoiling our kids? And I think also spanking. Oh, you're going to get some crap on that. Me just saying that. But I was spanked. I wasn't the greatest kid. I earned those spankings, but my parents weren't abusing me. It's something that's been around since biblical days. Of course, okay, now they're going to say, well, stoning and all that's, whoever, not that you have those people in your chat room, but the people that are like that, calm down, have some coffee, as Pastor Begley would say. So, but if you aren't aware of all this stuff, just look at the news. I did a little video earlier today about this, folks. Just because earthquakes aren't happening around you, or tornadoes or hail or any of that right now, it doesn't mean something else couldn't happen. A gas explosion could take out a whole town. I watched it happen on the news in Texas years ago. It can happen. Fertilizer plant. It can do. Terrorist attack. Anything can happen. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing paranoid about being prepared, having a plan.
It's illogical to not be prepared. It's quite the opposite. It is not logical to not be prepared for a crisis in this day and age. Because I'll tell you what, kids, Walmart does not have your back. Your local food distribution companies that work with your grocery stores, they don't have your back. And I said something to my wife the other day in passing. We were kind of talking about this kind of stuff. And I like to remind everyone of one simple fact. There's only one thing that's holding all of this together. There's only one little element to our society that is kind of like the glue that holds us all together, and that is electricity. If the electrical grid were to be shut down by an EMP or a solar flare, which is, in my opinion, very realistic and
Oh, it happens all the
probably
time.
inevitable. It happens all the
very
time, but we're
lucky.
going to get a big one one day.
Yeah.
And we're going to get our electrical grid sidelined for months at some point. Shit's going to go down and it's going to happen. And if you just think, everything that we base our society on at this point is based on electricity, because without electricity, there's no computers, and without computers and without electricity to pump fuel at the gas station into vehicles, I mean, things will get tough without electricity. And that's just one thing.
Truckers can't truck drive, and people have to think, all those people that you rely on, they're human beings. They have families, they have friends, they have lives too. They're just not robots. I mean, I think we as a society look at people we don't know or that are working jobs. They're like our Truman Show. They're just actors in the background. No, these are, well, that would be crazy if I was in a Truman Show. But point is that, yeah, I question it a lot. I always feel that there's always a camera on me, so don't pick my nose. You know? So, I mean, I've had cameras around me all my life, so, but
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. Okay. So I know we're laughing at you right now, but just look at the news. You have the fires, no matter how they started or whatever's behind, you know, whatever about that. Okay. You have these earthquakes, very, very shallow, very mysterious. People are saying, I even asked Mike Barrett today. I was like, Mike, so is this a quake, a real one, or something else? He goes, it's a quake. Okay. I trust Mike Barrett. But then you get these reports from the people up there saying it wasn't like an earthquake, where they drill for this. You know, they practice jumping under the desks like we used to do, duck and cover, which was useless, really. You're going either way. But
we need to know where to find the bodies. That's what that was.
Right. Oh, now you threw me off. What was I saying?
You were talking about talking about the electrical grid, and
oh yes. And so, you know, if the grid goes down, people rely on all this stuff and they think it's all gonna be good. What I love is in these movies, which you have to think about, all these movies coming out, they're all about the end of the world, devastation, meteorites, you know, time travel, space stuff, alien invasion. I understand what a fad is in movies. That is conditioning. Now, granted, I love these movies. They're great movies. Okay. Yes. But I've been in the business for so many decades. I can see behind the curtain that other people can't see. I can see, all right, this is a manipulation. This is a political ploy that they're throwing into this movie. You know, the Star Wars movie, not this one Solo, but
Rogue One.
Yeah, just the one before that, or whatever. It shows the empire and everything. That's supposed to replicate where government was running at that time.
Oh, right.
That was a political statement through the script. And then you have these big companies who, after a statement like this, I'll probably never work for, which is fine with me. They manipulate the storyline of where our consciousness as a society goes. Now, if we didn't do the UFO movies and ET and Close Encounters, then go off into every freaking sci-fi this and that from since then into their own channels and networks. If Gene Roddenberry didn't do Star Trek, would we still be doing Western movies now?
Right.
Okay. Or would we be stuck on American Graffiti? We'd be like Cuba. So the media, and that's what DisclosureCon was the message I was trying to convey, is how entertainment manipulates us and desensitizes us and does self-disclosure. It steers us, because everybody wants to be entertained. That's why I do it. I love to
Oh,
entertain. And, you know, I may not make a lot of money doing it, but I love doing it because I bring wow to people's or you know, happiness and joy or fear or sadness through acting or, you know, a film of working on something. That's what I love to do. Okay. But I see how it works. I did an album, which it was kind of like Pink Floyd The Wall, but every song was a different genre and it had a little Beatles in it, and it all told a story if you listen to all the songs together, but if you listen to them individually, just, you know, different types of songs. And I had hidden messages in there because I got the game back then. But I was young. I was like, I'm going to use this to my advantage. Didn't work out because I didn't sell my soul. That's the thing. You can only go so far. If you're up there with the big wigs, there's a video on you for doing something.
It's true.
Yeah.
So since you've been on the show last time, 1028 Productions has a show on twice a week, and it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Where can people find your show?
On YouTube. Just look up 1028 Productions, 1028 Productions. And it's kind of it's like a little network on a page. So all my playlists are different categories. So I have some commercials I've done, weddings, you know, just different stuff I do, video production. And then I have one for 1028 Live. Now I did 2 seasons before sorry, my Dr. Pepper is coming, getting to me. Sponsor me.
It's okay.
All right. What was I saying?
You were saying you love Dr. Pepper because it's the most amazing drink on this planet. Boy, oh boy, would you be the perfect endorsee for Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah. Cheap too. No, I'm just kidding. I'll take as much as you can give me. As long as they have like a, you know.
If it works that way, I'd like to start naming some dispensaries.
Right. Oh. Yeah. Well, I know of a possible TV show that's coming out with that topic. I'll tell you about it later. But
okay.
Anyway, so we're all over the place. So the weather, the movies, how they manipulate, that's going on. So all this stuff is conditioning us, and it's a warning. The Cabal, which not everybody, but a lot of people are learning about, who have taken the red pill, you might say. They're learning that the Cabal is preparing for something. Okay. And they're taking away the knowledge, the skill set of being prepared. So having storable food is very, very important, because when the power goes out, which it will, it's not a matter of if, but when. All the people in electrical companies will tell you this, because once the power goes out, you know, Joe Bob ain't going to pop in his truck and go fix it and be set up in about an hour like he does right now. Okay. This is the main gigantic power generators that are the size of houses that are custom built to that location. And it would take, I think they said, 2 years to remake just a single one of those. Okay.
Oh,
now that's 2 years to make it. Now that's if you're in a place that has electricity. Now they can do it old school. They could do it with the hot melted, you know, foundries and stuff, and make steel that way and pound it in with nails. But they're going to have to reteach themselves, because everything was done for them by computers.
Right.
Computer. You sat like Homer Simpson and watched some buttons. Now, Graham's sure it's more complex than that, but the majority is done by computers. We've got these quantum computers that are doing everything, probably causing the Mandela effect, messing with time itself. I mean, all these things are going on, and I'm not one to preach religion. I have my belief in my faith, and surprisingly, everything in that book is happening. Mm-hmm. People think, well, Armageddon and the end of the world is going to be all at once. Big meteor is going to hit, and could happen. But look at it. It's a transition. It's the boiling of the frog method. You know about the boiling of the frog? You don't throw up.
Slowly acclimated to an environment that is ultimately bad for you, but done by slow measures seems
you're accustomed to it.
Yes.
You get accustomed to it, like getting in a hot tub. But what happens if you're in a hot tub too long and you pass out? You know, you could die. You could literally cook in that.
Yeah.
So, well, depending on what kind of hot tub you got. But the point is that's
I'm
the
getting
technique.
no, no, go ahead.
Sorry?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I want to get a hot tub. So get in the hot tub. Sorry. I don't know. Beyonce, the Natasha Fierce has just entered me. I'm so sorry.
This
So
is
every
why
time I get on camera, I'm on.
this is why I like having you on this show.
Fingers.
Right there.
My mother's just like, what is he doing?
I met your mom. She is so cool. I think we're friends on Facebook.
Yeah, she's a hoot. Yeah,
Speaking of
I
people
love her mom.
online, I'm just going to say real quick, Ms. Skywalker, I see you, Sunshine and Titanic. Let's see.
Stingray guy.
The professors in there, huh?
Stingray guy, Sunshine and Titanic.
Yeah.
Saying hello.
You know, I picked up a lot of people. I got subscribers and viewers from you from being at DisclosureCon. I had so many people come up to me at DisclosureCon and tell me that they had seen my show because of you. And I hadn't really had a chance to thank you for that since then. But thank you. That was a great opportunity to be there.
You're so welcome. Well, I can't wait till you come back for DisclosureCon again.
Yeah.
And we'll get all that set up. I'm just trying to get to the Survival Prepper Expo, May 25th and 6th.
I'd like to cover that as well.
I would love to have you there. Yes,
let's
absolutely.
talk business sometime soon, and we'll work something out because I'd like to promote it because it's something that I actually believe in. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a thing to do, but I believe in the cause of that.
And we're gonna have John DSouza. He's gonna be speaking. Do you know who that is?
I absolutely do. I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Yes. So you know his story and the X-Files and everything. So
yeah,
it was an honor to have him on my first show, and then he's going to be coming to the event, and he also wants to come to the Expo as well. So you might get to see him there as well. But real quick before I guess we head out of here,
I just take your time.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't know if we were on a limit, but
I just wanted to make sure we mentioned some of these things before we did go out.
Oh, absolutely. Like this right here, I wanted to say, you know, Off Grid Magazine they're not a sponsor or anything, but they're going to be at our event. And this magazine is amazing. It's got first aid kits, you know, self-defense moves. It's even got comparisons on different products. And it's got a section on escape and evasion driving, how to do all kinds of pit maneuvers and reverse 180s. And that's just a few things that they have in just one issue. But if you don't know what to do, get a magazine, this one or one like it, read it, learn some of these skill sets. Okay, you don't have to go to classes. It'd be good if you did. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. That's free. You can do that. But for the best experience is find a workshop where you can do things physically, not just watch it and go, okay, well, I hope I can do that when the time comes. So that's what I would suggest. But get food, because when the power goes out, the stores are going to empty. They're just going to be empty. We've had too many examples of that. Katrina, earthquakes. Right after this earthquake this morning,
Puerto Rico.
Huh?
Puerto Rico this past summer.
Oh yeah, but just today at the Alaskan earthquake, just within an hour and a half after that, there was a Burger King had 400 or 500 people all the way outside. It was just like a wave of people going in there because they had no food.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's nothing at the grocery store. You know, if it happens in the middle of the night, the grocery store is shut down. There's nobody there to run it. Of course, it'll probably get looted. But then if you're one of those people and you loot, then okay, you got your food. Then what? You got to know how to grow. I mean, have a crop set aside somewhere. Get an acre of land somewhere. This stuff is obtainable. You may think, well, I don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to buy a ranch and this and that. No, if you're in the city, look up urban tactical training for yourself. How to move around the city if it's martial law. Just look when these places like what was it, Katrina was an example of martial law. They came to take your guns. Okay, your right to protect your own stuff. We have a Walmart here. We call it the mall. It's open 24 hours. And the one thing I do, it's what we have. I have to go there. It's the way it is. There's nowhere else nearby to go. And you go in there and they have an aisle that's storable food. You get the cans and it has like 90 servings of this and 20 servings of that. Some of it's $10, some of it's $50 a can, depending on what's in it. Every time you go, grab one can, bring that can back, put it in a pantry on a shelf that's strictly your oh crap shelf. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And it will build over time. You don't have to
Yeah.
do it at once and buy $1,500 1-year supply for you and your family. If you got the money, do that. Get it done now.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying this is all going to go down tomorrow, because none of it's all going to go down in one day. This is going to be a slow progression, like the cooking of the frog. Okay. And it's them coming in. They come up to the fence of your home and they're like, we're coming in. I'm like, no, you can't come in. All right, well, we're going to come in, but we're not going to come on your patio. No. Okay, well, okay, we're going to just come up the stairs, but we're not going to come inside. And that's what they've been doing. And
Yes.
taking our rights at the same time. I don't care who's on, left or right side. I don't even get any of that stuff, because they both work for the same team.
Exactly.
It's just they have
correct.
a home team jersey and a visiting jersey. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's like the bankers. The bankers, someone's got a lower interest rate than the other, but this bank is doing. They all work for the same team. So once people get out of the fogginess and brain manipulation that unfortunately my industry has done through media, the best example, if you've seen the movie Idiocracy.
Oh, I own it. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I've bought like 5 or 6 of them, give them out like Christmas gifts, because Rolling Stone said it is the only movie in history that was made as a comedy and ended up as a documentary. Yeah. And that is no joke. Since that movie came out is how I've seen it, and it just progresses, a snowball effect, and faster, how dumbed down our society has become. Just listen to the music. Listen, I just, these headphones, these were my DJ headphones. I hung them up as of 2 weeks ago. It's like, I'm done. I've done it. I've DJed off and on throughout my life for 30 years. Done the big stadiums. I've worked for Disney, all this stuff. I know what it takes to be able to mix and put on a show. Now it's just like, Satan, booty, hooker, gangster. Seriously, and it's just been this horrible degrade, and I didn't want to be a part of that anymore. So I hung them up. Now I use them for podcasting.
Exactly.
So
that's what I like about podcasting and all this, is that I think online outlets for media like the Young Turks, they do progressive politics, and that's one thing. But groups like them, like the media, is being democratized by people like us, by people like Richard Dolan. He has his own site, he has his own members site, and then he has his YouTube channel. And if you want to get the skinny on a lot of these topics, you can go to Richard Dolan's channel, and Linda Moulton Howe also has good information. And every once in a while, Coast to Coast kind of hits home. It's kind of hit and miss with them, but
I do remembrance of Art Bell. So
they're fishing with the wide net, and I acknowledge that about Coast to Coast. I don't slam them. Like, I'm not trying to do that kind of a thing.
That's like going up against the godfather of our industry.
Right. Yeah, no. I'm not knocking Coast to Coast. It's just they're fishing with a big net, and they bring a lot of different things in there. So, and a lot of that stuff is up for debate. So the Prepper Convention in May, and
May 25th and 26th.
Solo Festival next year, as well as a DisclosureCon.
Yes, yeah. My company sponsors is one of the main sponsors with the Sholo Film Festival, which is put on by Darmar Production, and that's Martina Webster and her husband Darren, and they've become like my mentors. They've been in the industry for a bit, She puts on festivals in California, and she's relocating up here. So we started putting on this festival because it's untouched land. It's virgin to the camera, really.
Right.
So there's so much that can be filmed up there.
Is
I'm
there,
also
is there any interest generated by the film
oh
industry there?
oh yes, yes. We already had out of the film festival. Now here's the thing: when film festivals start out, even Sundance, they're lucky if they get like three movies. We had 51 movie entries, and we had them playing in 4 theaters, and we had it spread out so that they would get to experience the town, get to meet the people over those 4 days, fall in love with the town like I did. And I told them during the orientation, I said, when you're traveling, don't hang out in your hotel room, even though they're nice hotel rooms, but go out and about and look at the area through the eye of a lens. And some of them came back and like, yeah, we're coming back, we're going to film. So they're going to come back and they're going to have like a skeleton crew. And then I, being a film resource coordinator for the Arizona State Film Commission for the White Mountain area, I am the liaison. I'm the guy that when that film company comes in, I help them find their locations that they're going to shoot. I help them find their construction workers, their mailbox office, drivers, security, electricians.
Right, all the
That's
infrastructure, the crew that it requires to support something
exactly.
like that.
So we'll be doing workshops as well, because a lot of electricians and carpenters and all these other skill sets, they don't know that you can use those skill sets in the entertainment industry. It's
Right.
another aspect of income, or another avenue of income. So that's my goal, is 500 jobs in 5 years. Not full-time career jobs or anything like that, but at least, getting to work a day or two on a movie, at least something, and then incorporate that with the local colleges, and then hopefully build a film studio up here so that when these film companies do come up here, they don't have to just film and then take everything back to LA or wherever and pay them high amounts of money. We want to pay pay a little cheaper price, but you utilize our people. We want to contend with Canada, basically.
Right.
The $2 million and below. We're not looking for. I mean, we'd love it to have big blockbusters come up here, but our target is the 2 million and below, because there's so many of them, and they're itching to film. So hopefully that will be a source of income. And then the film festival. Yeah, it was just a big success, and that's when the film commissioner of Arizona said, "Yeah, let's get a film commission office up here. Let's get these movies up here." And keeping our fingers crossed, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's the long game. That's what it is. And then what else? There's so much, but I don't want to do it all in one show.
Right. Yeah, but 1028 Productions is busy next year.
Oh, yes, very busy. Oh, gosh, we've got TV shows, documentaries. I'm talking to a certain artist or author that we both know about possible book on tape or audiobook. Joel Christopher Payne. Do you remember him? The guy with the Friendlians?
Absolutely, yes. We were all sitting around at the Honda Casino.
Yeah, and he, I don't know if you mentioned there about how his life has just kind of followed in the footsteps of Walt Disney. I mean, almost to a T. And on Mickey Mouse's 90th birthday, he got his full funding for Friendlians, which is going to be a new series coming out with dolls that interact with the show and teach kids, good moral ethics and stuff. And then yeah, there's a few on here. So we've got a lot of projects coming up, and on top of that, trying to do this show as well. So yeah, I'm going after, what's his name? Ryan Seacrest. I'm coming for all your jobs.
That's it. The busiest man in Arizona entertainment, Doc Skinner. Doc, thanks for being on. I love having you on. We always have a good time, and we have a good time when we talk when we're not doing our shows. And I enjoy being friends with you, and it's been great. So thanks for being here so much.
Well, you're awesome, Natasha. Thank you for having me be a part of it. And you know what I love? This is like, people think that, someone asked me if this was scripted, what we do. I was like, no. Just imagine a phone call, but we're letting everybody in the world watch.
Exactly. No, that's exactly.
This is the conversations I have with all these people all the time. And then I'm seeing everybody do these shows. I'm like, well, I might as well do it. So
yeah.
here I am.
Yeah, no, we're just letting people peek behind the curtain. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Doc, thank you so much for being on. And to you, the listener, if you have not hit like, please do so. If you haven't hit subscribe, please show me some love and subscribe. Share this video if appropriate, if you haven't already. And I want to give a shout out to a few people. I want to say hello to Jessica Stevens, and I want to let you know that we went to Wickenburg and did the ghost hunt because Lisa P suggested it in the chat room a couple weeks ago. I asked viewers what they wanted to see more of, and people said ghost hunting type stuff. So we went to Wickenburg. Be looking for that. That is going to be an amazing time. And I'm going to go ahead and name the guitar player from January. I'm going to be interviewing at the Peter Murphy concert, who is with David J., and they're doing a 40-year retrospective of Bauhaus. And I'm going to be interviewing Mark Gemini Thwaite down in Phoenix at the Peter Murphy show. And that's not going to be live streamed. That'll also go in the can, and we'll present that. But that's who I'm going to be talking to. Mark Gemini Thwaite has played for the Mission UK. He has played several tours with Peter Murphy. He did an album with him. And he is a who's who of goth alternative guitarists. So these are things to look forward to. 2019, I'm going to go to the gates of Area 51. We'll fill you in on that. We have lots of other things going on. We're going to be going to more events, more conventions next year, and there's going to be a whole lot going on. So stay tuned through the holidays. As we enter into December, I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone. And buckle down. Here we go. We're getting into Christmas. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night on Mysterious Forces Live. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys, and peace out. Merry Christmas.